In this lesson, we're going to look at another way to do division, and that's going to be using partial quotients to divide. Now in the last lesson, remember we did repeated subtraction, and we made groups of 3 and subtracted the 3 every time we made a group until we figured out how many groups there were in all. Now that took us a long time, so we're going to look at doing partial quotients, and this will be a quicker way for us to find the answer to a division problem. Now let's look at what the words partial quotients means. Do you remember what a quotient is? You're right, that's the answer to a division problem. And partial means part of, so we're going to find part of the answer, and then we're going to help us get to the whole answer. Now let's look at the problem that we're going to be doing. We have the problem here, 55 divided by 4. That means that we are going to have 55 tiles, and we want to put them into groups of 4, so put 4 in each group. That would look like this. Here I have 55 tiles, 10, 20, 30, 40, 55, and I want to put them into groups of 4. There's one group of 4. Here's another group of 4. And we would continue doing this until we knew how many groups we could make. Now let's look at how we can solve this problem using partial quotients. Now since I know I have to put them into groups of 4, I know that one group of 4 is going to give me 4 tiles. Remember that this multiplication symbol means groups of, so we could say that one group of 4 is 4. But let's look if we had more than one group, like 2 groups of 4. Well, then we would use up 8 tiles. Or what if we did 3 groups of 4? How many tiles would we have then? You're right, we would use up 12 tiles if we made 3 groups of 4. What about 5 groups of 4? Yep, that would be 20. And what if we did 10 groups of 4? You're exactly right, we would be using up 40 tiles. So let's look at how we can use these multiplication facts that we know to solve this division problem. Now, I have 55 divided by 4. You know what? If I made 10 groups of 4, that means that I would be using up 40 of those tiles. Let's look at how we would write that. I'm going to turn that light blue so I can remember to think about it, but that's not part of what I'm going to write down. Now, if I make 10 groups of 4, that means I'm going to be taking away 40 tiles from the 55 that I had. And if I take those 40 tiles away, how many groups will I have made? You're right, I will have made 10 groups. So instead of writing a 1 here because I made one group of 4, I can take away 40 tiles, which gives me 10 groups of 4. Now once I do that, how many tiles am I going to have left? You're right, I'm going to have 15 tiles left. Well, let's see here. I could make one group and take away 4 tiles, but if I took away 5 groups of 4, that would be too many. I don't have enough tiles for that because that's 20. But I could take away 3 groups of 4, and that means I would use up 12 tiles. So let's do that. If I take away 3 groups of 4, that means I'm going to take away 12 tiles, leaving me with just 3 tiles left, and that means that I just made 3 groups. So how many groups have I made all together now? You're right, I've made a total of 14 groups all together. Now, can I make another group? I only have 3 tiles left, so I'm not going to be able to make another group. So that means that the answer to this division problem is 14 with a remainder of 3. And I can write that up here like this, 14 with a remainder of 3. And that's how I use partial quotients to do long division. Now it's your turn to try this on your own. If you have any questions, you can always come back and watch these tutorials.